see the Saturday Morning Slam at all? I don't even know if you did.
No, I didn't see it.
I watch it. It's kind of funny. You can see the WWE propaganda machine in full, in all of its glory, Kev. They literally removed all the cheers and the boos and the cheers, and they put them in their appropriate spots. They did not show, for the most part, one adult. Every close-up was of nothing but kids throughout the whole thing. Santino,
is this all about Linda McMahon, or are they going this direction anyway?
I think it's a lot to do with Linda, personally. But
it's funny. I actually like Linda McMahon. I'm not on board with hating her over this. I don't hate. It's not even a political statement I'm making. I just like her. I think she's cool. I don't think there's anything wrong with her.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with her status and running for anything. I just think she's okay.
Yeah.
I like her better than I like Vince. I'll be honest with you.
It's all politics, though, which means that it's going to affect wrestling in one form or another. I mean, geez, how much has it pretty much become a child-friendly over just the last 4 or 5 years alone?
It is what it is. It makes the money. I mean, like I said, that's why they brought guys like Ray back, Mysterio. There was a method to that madness. I mean, most times when you're out for the 11th time injured, you usually don't get brought back.
Yeah.
But he makes money. He sells merchandise. I never would begrudge Ray Mysterio that he wasn't a moneymaker. He is.
Right.
He absolutely is. So if you're a businessman, you bring Ray back. And if you're doing kid-oriented things, he's at the forefront. Right next to John Cena, you have Ray Mysterio.
Yeah.
For children, he's number 2 for the kids. CM Punk's not a kid-oriented character, never was, and he's not like that in real life. I don't think he's kid-friendly. I'm not saying he doesn't like kids, but Ray Mysterio generally likes his kid fans. And that's where these people are going to go out and buy the Ray mask. And, God, it seems like every kid has a Ray mask. I don't know if they're giving them out or they literally buy them. I mean, no, do you wonder that? Like, do you say to yourself, it seems a little weird. Like, every kid in those front 4 rows has masks.
Yeah.
Like, are they giving them away or are they actually buying them? And how much do they cost?
Oh, they're probably like $10. Kid stuff doesn't cost as much
I'm just
as
saying.
adults.
I mean, there's your bread and butter. You don't get rid of a guy like that.
Yeah. No, absolutely not. I mean, the first Saturday Morning Slam, the only match that they had on the card. So I guess it's pretty much focusing on one match a week. It's on Saturday mornings here in Chicago. It was on WGN. I don't know where the hell it would be up there in New York.
WGN we get here in New York, by the way.
Okay, well then that's what it'll be on. That's what we get.
Yeah, we get WGN here in New York.
And it was a half hour long. The match was between Kofi and the one-man rock band, which was fine.
Yeah, I mean, Kofi's total kid-friendly character, and they turned Ron Killings into one, too. I mean, Ron doesn't do anything inappropriate with little Jimmy. If anything, he doesn't even say anything. So many characters are squeaky clean right now. They're borderline G, let alone PG.
Yeah.
And I can name, 20 WWE guys who are fine to entertain the kids.
Yeah.
Not just Ray and John Cena. There's a bunch of other guys who are characters are totally in the kid zone.
Well, the rest of it was pretty much coverage of Be a Star campaign and stuff like that. And it was like the remake of the music video, the SummerSlam music video that they had. So, I mean, it was nothing that you haven't seen already on YouTube or on WWE.com. Worst part yet was Santino was one of the main announcers, but the problem was he's still wearing his belt, that he lost at SummerSlam. So, just kind of goofy stuff. It really didn't seem to flow very well. Apparently this Saturday, though, they're going into an in-depth profile into Rey Mysterio's whole life. So I'm kind of interested to see what they do there. It kind of reminds me of when they had the Sports Illustrated for Kids on TV or the ESPN Kids on TV. Every once in a while you tune in because you got the kids around and stuff like that, and they watch it and, they see, look at such
like I said, what's funny about, I was watching, at the time a friend was over my house at the time, just stayed for a couple of minutes. But at the time, Brodus Clay was on, and I was telling him, you ever see this? Like, he hadn't watched wrestling in a while. I was just stopping by, drop something off. And he's like, who's that? I go, you got to see this guy. It's kind of funny. I go, he looks like an overweight Busta Rhymes. So he does. Yeah. He looks like Busta Rhymes, Brodus Clay.
Well, I got a comment. So I'm sorry.
So he comes out, and the thing, of course, my friend notices the 2 hot girls that are with him.
Yeah.
And, Cameras and Naomi, they're both super hot. Yeah. And they go on the ring, they rub their asses together, and he goes, I thought it was like a kid-oriented gimmick, like it's all sexual. And I'm like, no, it's that's funny. I never really thought about when they do that, but it is very sexual.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
You didn't notice
rubbing
that?
their asses together.
Oh, dude, I love that.
And they're wearing, booty shorts. I mean, it's a sexual part of it. It's a kid gimmick, but not really. I mean, I'm surprised WWE didn't make them stop doing that.
That's my favorite part of that intro, man.
But that's what's funny. That's like I said, he hadn't seen wrestling maybe 10 years, and I just told him, check out this gimmick. I said, this guy's pretty funny. And he's doing the Teen Wolf dance and everything. And that's the first thing he knows. He goes, what is it like, the Funk Ants? That's how long it was compared to the Flash Funk.
Oof.
And he said, you know, we were just bullshitting about it. And then at the end of the match, you know, the girls are dancing with the kids and like they're dancing around with them. But I said, I'm surprised WWE, they're so careful that they haven't made them stop doing that. I noticed that.
You know what? I got to really comment on this. This Jay Legacy guy's busting my balls. He's like, I cannot believe that a grown man was actually watching the Saturday morning show and complaining about it like it was made for them. I have 3 kids. What's your fucking point? I'm not talking about watching.
Right. I mean, they're 26, 28, and 32, but that's not the point.
I have 3 kids that I watch it with, you know? I mean, I got the little girl that's, she's completely into Santino. That's all she does. She wants to watch it.
For real?
She calls him the poopit instead of the puppet because she sees the puppet, the poopit. Oh, it's the poopit guy.
And when you go to wrestling, you take the kid?
Yeah, oh, yeah, absolutely. Of course. Okay. I mean, you're not going there by yourself these days.
They like John Cena?
The oldest one does. The Dakota, not so much. I think he's more into what I like. So he likes CM Punk, he likes Ziggler and stuff like that. He's the smart one. You know?
He's the smart one.
So
it's like the Beatles. They got the smart one, the cute one, the shy one.
Then the one that didn't die.
I know you never want to say your kid is the Ringo.
Right. Who are you, Ringo? Fuck.
And if anybody who's listening to this show is wondering who we're referring to and you don't know what we're talking about, you better go get the fuck off the show. Who's Ringo?
The
what
Beatles.
What is he talking about?
What kind of bugs are those?
Ringo. Kevin's got to stop making references that we don't understand what he's talking about. Who's this? Who's Led Zeppelin? Who the fuck is that?
Right. It's been a hard day's night. Ugh.
Someone asked me why I talked about obscure bands, and I said Led Zeppelin, Van Halen, Black Sabbath are obscure bands.
Jesus, who said that?
Jesus. Someone wrote me a fucking email about that.
Did you unfriend them?
Bands that nobody cares about. I'm like, dude, I don't even go there. Nobody cares about those bands, really.
Who's this band Pink Floyd? They suck.
God. Kevin was talking about this Elvis Presley. Who knows who that is?
Nobody listens to Elvis. Oh, it's horrible. I can't actually believe that you got a lot of
talking about Happy Days. No one ever heard of that show.
Did you guys ever search and do like any kind of feedback on what the age group of Don Tony Kevin Castle show listeners is? Because I know who listens to our show, who listens to Wrestling Soup. We're predominantly.
I don't. Don Tony doesn't let me privy to any information like that. You guys have no idea how in the dark I am about everything. That's what's a shame about when Don Tony gets into a feud and I get dragged into it. I literally have nothing to do with it at all. It's almost like I am a victim of circumstance.
They just
completely. I'm working during the week. I have no idea. I go back on and someone's got a hit out on us. Like, you know, and I'm like, what the fuck did I do? I didn't do it. I think my problem was I answered the phone.
Every Monday, Don Tony opens up the cage.
I'm not cool with everybody. Until I get with Don Tony, I'm like enemies like half the country.
Don Tony just opens up the cage every Monday. Let's Kevin Igor out.
Yeah, exactly. In our opinion, I'm like, dude, in your opinion, I'm not on the show. I hope people are smart enough to know I wasn't there when that opinion was formed. Speaking for everybody.
Shit. So it's
but of course I love Don Tony. He's my troublemaking younger brother. My precocious troublemaking.
Is he younger than
slightly younger brother?
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I thought he was a little.
He's about a year and a half younger than me.
Oh wow. Oh, you guys are right next door to each other, huh?
Yeah.